Hey guys, my name is ROZI and I will show you my bow build and my gear for this current meta in Season 8. In this video I will show you my gear, my skill tree. I will also show you my attributes and the testing that I have done related to attribute points. And then it's about dex, int and con. I have done some tests and I have calculated the average damage output. More details later about that. You can find the timestamp in the video or the description. And I will also talk about the game direction. So what is up and coming in this game? What have they announced and what do I think about it? For example, capture the flag, Scott Lane leaving. First I'll show you a couple of clips so you get an idea of what my gear and everything looks like in action. Here you see a clip of me in OPR where I'm 1v2ing 2 flails, blunderbuss and a SNS. I'm able to survive, I'm able to escape, reset and join the fight again. Here I'm fighting over Baron with one other teammate. It's a 2v3. There's 2 people chasing me, but I'm still trying to help my teammate over there to secure that kill while there's 2 demons trying to kill me. I'm strong enough and I still do enough damage, almost 4k per hit. I want to get that kill because he's low. I know my teammate is able to survive that fight. I get that kill just in time to finish off the 3rd one. Nice. So as you were able to see there, I was strong enough to have 2 people on me and still focus on the other fight to help my teammate. That's the playstyle that I prefer. I don't like being squishy and having to struggle to stay alive and only focus on that moment or my fight only. I do this in arena. I try to be aware who needs help, who needs an extra heavy arrow or whatever to just secure that kill to get the round, you know. I'm not a type of bow that stands in the corner and just shoots arrows from a far distance. I don't like playing like that, but I do understand that that is typically how bow players play, at least the majority. I do think that better bows are not scared to get into the fight and be close combat distance. It should be just about out of reach from a melee, but I could also see that people prefer to be glass cannon, be at a safe distance and do as much damage as possible. I am willing to return some damage for some extra HP. That's my comfort zone. That's how I like to play, because I don't play typically in a group. I cannot fall back and get a full healing from a healer or a sacred. I need to count on myself. I don't have that security that a healer offers when you queue with them. Now let's take a look at my gear. This is my Nisa or Nisa character. We have Gorgon's Antlers. It's a heavy headwear with enchanted ward, shirking heels, refreshing pen shot. I have Featherweight with refreshing physical aversion, vital synergy. Vital synergy is a very strong perk. It says while health is below 50%, gain 20% stamina regen rate. While stam is below 50%, incoming healing is increased by 20%. Very, very useful. And I have light gloves with diminishing orb. Don't look at that. That's this is a 2-perker basically for me. Enchanted ward and shirking heels. Then I got light legwear with enchanted ward, shirking heels, and then another useless perk for me. Then I got heavy boots with enchanted ward, shirking heels and slash conditioning. As you can see, I have a lot of enchanted ward. It says minus 4% damage from light and heavy attacks. This is extremely strong because I mostly play against Voidblade and SNS and Hatchet, and they mostly do light attacks. They don't rely on their abilities as much as other classes. Then this is my Hatchet. It's 700 gear score, but it has keen, plagued crits, refreshing distancing throw. Then I got the Boltcaster with plagued crits added to it. Then I got Ankh, the artifact amulet, with divine, health, and slash protection. Then I got this ring with healing breeze. On heal for 6 seconds, heal target for 16% weapon damage each second. Then I got lightning damage and hardy. I got an earring with empowering toast, refreshing toast, and regenerating. This is not BIS, but it is good enough for me. I live by the philosophy you don't need BIS to be BIS. Even though it is very useful to have BIS gear, obviously, but I think it's good enough. I feel strong, I feel tanky, I still do a lot of damage, so let's move on over to my weapon mastery for my bow. I have evade shot, I have rapid, and I have explosive arrow. With evade, you want to go all the way down, and then you definitely want to go for evasive tactics, gain in power, and deal 15% more damage for 5 seconds after dodging. So basically, you want to be dodging all the time. You never want to be full stam with bow when you shoot, and you get empowering after dodging. I think mostly all the bows are using these for the majority, and then I only select rapid shot. I do not go down, even though they're pretty good, but this final blow used to stagger a person, and they removed that, so you know. Then aim true, long range, finishing shot, surprise attack, bullseye. Then I only picked a second slot with explosive arrow. Then we can go to Hatchet. Hatchet, I pick Berserk all the way down, and then I select these. I have followed a screenshot from someone else for this, and you want to go for Defy Death. Then this one, aimed throw, is really not necessary. If you think one of the passives is more important, you can definitely remove this one. I honestly should remove this one, I barely use it, but I kind of like the animation of throwing the hatchet sometimes, so. Then you want to go for social distancing. This is your escape. If you are in a sticky situation, you can just throw this, go backwards, and run away. And if you hit your shot or you hit your hatchet, they are rooted because you have selected this one. Stay back. This is huge. I often notice that I can set up the kill for my teammates with this one. It's super useful. And then we have infected throw. Leap into the air and throw a hatchet that deals 150% slashed weapon damage. This attack inflicts 30% disease and 10% weaken to your target for 10 seconds. Increases the duration of disease and weaken. Creates a 3 meter radius disease and weaken. Now, well, that's pretty useful, I would say. So yeah, these are my weapon trees. You can obviously try things yourself, but for me right now this feels best. Alright, let's talk about attributes. I went into a duel with a friend and they were a healer, so they could heal up the damage that I did, so I could just keep going. With every test, here you see 6 tests, 6 test rounds. The first test was 500 dex, and then everything else, all the other points that I had in con. Then I did 20 heavy shots and 20 light shots in every test round. I did 20-20, so I could get an average number. So with test number 1 with 500 dex and everything else in con, I ended up with 3,716 average damage. Lightning damage, because I use Boltcaster. And then if we look at the light shots, this is 500 dex. It was, let's say, 2,400 damage on average for a light attack. So what stood out to me after looking at this is that int seems to do a lot. Because here, tests 5 and 6 were to determine if int is actually effective for Boltcaster. Because I ran the same amount of dex in both tests, and then in test 5 I did 150 int, and then in test 6 I just put those points into con. So here you can definitely see that int is pretty strong. I didn't expect this. I thought it was kind of a useless I thought it was kind of useless to put points into int, but this is why this test is really good. Also here with the light shots, it does about 300 more damage. And I prefer to do light shots because then the Boltcaster special perk gets procced, so you do more damage every 3 shots, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's very interesting. So I was playing 250 con, and it looks like there was a small increase. I don't know how. It could be that I accidentally did more headshots with 250 con compared to when I did 400 dex. Here it does go down. I really think that 250 con is pretty strong because you are super strong, right? Like, you're almost unkillable, but you only do 300 less damage than when you are 500 dex. That is a big difference. Because also, if you look at your actual HP, so with test 1, with 500 dex, and then everything else in con, you have 14,600 HP. And then with 250 con, you have 18,000. So that's an increase of almost 3.5. That is a lot. That is like 2 light attacks or 1 big crit from another weapon. And I think that's really strong. You have more time to escape, more time to survive, more time to get your abilities back up, to escape again, or to, you know, to do whatever you need to do. So if you look at this, you can decide what is your playstyle. Do you want to survive a lot of attacks, being able to run away, heal up, get back into the fight, or do you want to do as much damage as possible? I think it would be very strong to do, because my magnify is kind of screwed here, I would do 350 dex, 150 con, 150 int. That would be best to do the most amount of damage. But if you want to play it safe and still have a lot of health, I would just go for 250 con, because you don't really lose that much damage. Now that we've talked about gear, my attributes, my view on playstyle, I want to talk a little bit about the direction the game is going. From the sounds of it and looking at the roadmap, it looks promising. But I have felt like that before, and then I got disappointed with New World. So I will not get too hyped about things. I'll just see how it goes. Me as a streamer and mainly streaming New World, I want the game to thrive. Because first, I really like the game. I love playing the game. I wouldn't be able to play the game so much if I didn't like it, obviously. And the better the game does in terms of Twitch viewers and everything, like the hype around it, the better my income is. So I think many New World streamers have this opinion on it, obviously. And 2 weeks ago, we were able to play Capture the Flag, a new game mode. Finally, the thing we've always been hoping for finally came to the game. And for me, it was perfect. The map was perfect. There were no crazy bugs. The game felt smooth in the instance. And yeah, it was perfect for me because I love arena. I like arena more than OPR because arenas are fast. You're constantly in combat. If you don't die and end up in the cage, I never do that though. So I'm always fighting. But with the Capture the Flag, it was even better because you die, you respawn like after maybe like 5-10 seconds, and you're back into the game. You don't need to run a long time like in OPR to get back into the fight. And also you had to have some game sense going on, you know, like, do I defend the flag now? Do I go for the flag? Not having too much like tunnel vision on the fights and completely ignore the flag like I've seen with other people. They get so focused on a fight that is not important for the game, but just, yeah, whatever. And I like to focus on what is the best thing to do right now when I'm playing. I have a video up where I play Capture the Flag. It's not in the game right now, but I honestly also don't know when they will fully release Capture the Flag. People are speculating that it will be Season 9. I hope sooner, but I don't think they will randomly release that. So I also think it will be Season 9. There will be 2 maps for Capture the Flag, which I'm really excited about. Also, there will be a 3rd arena map, so that's huge too. There's also Barebones OPR right now, where perks are not in play and everyone has the same gear score. It's on the old OPR map. I am not that interested in that. It just sounds a little bit boring. I thought maybe Bo will be very strong in that mode, but that's really, I've tried it, but I kind of left the game because I was a little bored, and it was also at the end of a stream, so I was tired. But anyway, it didn't really grasp my attention, but maybe you will like it. You can test it out right now. I mean, when you are watching this video, this might be not the case, but at this moment that I'm recording this video, it will be live for a couple of days. Also, I've heard that in their dev Q&A that Scott Lane has moved on to a new project within Amazon Games, probably Lord of the Rings. I'm curious if we will feel any type of change in terms of decision making because of this. I think Katie is lead now, but I could be totally wrong about that. Who knows? Maybe things will be quicker. Changes that we need. So yeah, I'm pretty hopeful, but I'm just sad that it always takes so long for things to change or new things to come to the game. I also don't really agree or think that these preview weekends are beneficial, because there's initial hype like, oh my god, Capture the Flag this weekend, okay. And then it's like, oh, they take it away from us again, and now we need to go do the old things again. So, and we don't know when it is coming back, so we're like, I don't know, I feel like they could communicate way better with us as players. Just like, even if it's like, okay, Capture the Flag will be released in August. Okay, it takes a long time, especially having a sneak peek like that. But then we know. Now it's just like, we have no idea and we don't know what to be excited about. And I think that's very important. I mean, that's with a lot of businesses, right? You need to make clear what the customer can expect. And now us as customers, we don't know what to expect. We have seen something that we really like, and then they are not clear about when is this coming, or why was it a preview, what are they going to focus on, what are they changing. I don't understand why this is so hard for them. Maybe there's a very good reason for this and we don't know. We obviously can't see behind the scenes. Maybe it has to do with investors. I have no idea. I'm just speculating, but I just don't understand why they can't be clear with us. That's it for the video. I hope you've learned maybe a thing or two, or maybe you disagree with me about things. Let me know. My question for you is, do you still play Bo? Have you ever played Bo? And if you don't play Bo, how do you feel when you are against a Bo in OPR or wherever? Do you feel like they're strong? Because I do still, I think in a Twitch chat I said Bo is weak, and then someone said like, oh my god, Bo always think, Bo players always think they're weak or something. And I don't agree with that, because I agree that a lot of people are like, oh my god, they have nerfed Bo again the past few years, right? But this time I do seriously think that Bo is at its weakest. But we can still make it work. So I'm curious, do you think Bo is still strong, or is it pretty weak right now? Alright, that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. Please, if you liked it, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Check out my Twitch. you can really help me out with that. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.